Smooth's got the tickets for everything that you need in the world of sports, concerts, or theater. I don't care what it is. I don't care where it's at in this great land of ours. My man Smooth at smoothtickets.com, he got them tickets. I'm telling you, boxing, baseball, NBA, NFL, country music concerts, hard rock, hip-hop, theater, Broadway, he's got them all. And if he don't have them, there ain't none. I'm telling you, smoothtickets.com. Once again, that's smoothtickets.com, or give him a call at 404-374-1150. Once again, that's 404-374-1150. You gotta tell him, though, that I sent you. You gotta tell him that Doug Stewart sent you. Once again, smoothtickets.com. That's smoothtickets.com. Yeah!
The Sleeper Pick. The guy only you believe in. In 1 week fantasy football on DraftKings, he can be the difference. So trust your gut. Trust your numbers. Trust your Uncle Vito if you want. But know this, that sleeper is out there. The question is, who's going to play him? This is DraftKings. Welcome to the big time.
To create your account, click on the banner link on the DougStewartShow.com or the Doug Stewart Show app. Footballsportsapp.com. What is it? It's the first live action mobile sports app played in real time and a cool way to immerse yourself in the game. Make coaching calls just like the pros. Check out the video. Download for free this fall and register now again at footballsportsapp.com. Want to be part of this new exciting technology and make money? Fill out the short form at the bottom of the website and mention TDSS. Again, footballsportsapp.com. Yes, sir.
Ain't no woman like the one I've got. Ain't no woman like the one I've got.
If you're not Stewart, what the hell are you doing? This is the Doug Stewart Show. Throwback Thursday. Outside of Woman Wednesday, this is my favorite day of the week. As you can tell, I like to reminisce, man. I really like to reminisce and, talk about truck drivers and Peterbilts and walkie-talkies and stuff like that, and cap guns. So I really love Throwback Thursday, and that's no lie what I said at the beginning of the show, if you're new to the Doug Stewart Show. And old school Stewies will tell you, we created that term Throwback Thursday. Now, we didn't copyright it or anything like that. We should have, just our dumb ignorance, I guess, on the whole way that works. But we should be accredited for coming up with the term Throwback Thursday. Now it's a big thing on Facebook. Everybody posts old school pictures on Throwback Thursday on Facebook and social media. And we have a lot of fun with it, man. I like to reminisce, man. I mean, damn. Being a kid is great. Being a kid is fantastic. Couple of Georgia-centric stories. If you're new to the Doug Stewart Show, we're based here in ATL, if you didn't know that. The Georgia-South Carolina game will remain in Columbia. What day and what time, however, will remain up in the air. So they're probably going to try to, or they're probably going to remove the game start time. But right now they're saying that the game is still going to go down. If you didn't know, Hurricane Matthew is set to hit the state of South Carolina on Saturday. One thing my mother told me about the storm, they're projecting it not to be a direct hit to South Carolina. I don't know whether that means it's going to be a little bit further up on the North Carolina coast, Virginia, the Atlantic or whatever. I'm not sure. But right now, it looks like it's not going to hit South Carolina directly, but they're still planning to play football on Saturday, which is, to me, sounds kind of crazy. I've talked about how big Hugo was and the destruction that it did to the state of South Carolina back in 1989. And you would think you would learn and not play around. My alma mater, South Carolina State University in Orangeburg, was set to play Bethune-Cookman, we canceled the game Tuesday. Whatever. Ain't nobody got time for that. No. But they still got the game set. And I understand it's a lot of problems. It's a logistical nightmare to cancel a game that's been planned for, I would guess, a couple of years. I get that. People have already booked their trips, hotels. I mean, and just for what it means to the conference as well. You got to play these games. You got to get the game in at some point or other. So I get it, but nah, it ain't even that serious, bruh. If you were around, and this is what surprises me, I think Nikki Hale, who's the governor of South Carolina, I think she's from, well, she has to be from South Carolina, but I think she was around during that time, working in politics in the state of South Carolina, to remember the destruction. And for her, and I guess maybe she doesn't have any say-so in it. I guess they're putting their lives on the line or whatever. And it might not be that serious. Maybe it dies down, but very strange that they're going to go through and try to play this game on Saturday. A couple of Atlanta Falcons stories. Linebacker A.J. Hawk is now an Atlanta Falcon. Yeah. Long-time linebacker for the Green Bay Packers. Was it Green Bay? Yeah, the Green Bay Packers. Long-time Green Bay Packer. Played his college ball at Ohio State. I think this is his 10th year. And the Falcons signed him up to kind of give them some depth at the linebacker position. You know that the two young studs who I absolutely love, Deion Jones and Devondre Campbell, are both, tending to like small minor issues. Neither one of those cats played this week, which, by the way, I just said it, but by the way, I love these young linebackers. It looks like Dan Quinn hit a home run on both of these kids. All right? Now, remember, and you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show. Remember, Dan Quinn was brought into Atlanta to kind of bring that Seattle, Legion of Doom type swagger to this organization and to this team. And last year they fell apart at the end, but, everybody says, well, give them a chance to draft some players, and try to implement a scheme. And this darn, Deontay Jones, they call him Debo, man. This kid is an absolute beast. Deion Jones, they call him Debo from, where did he play at? LSU. Not the biggest linebacker in the world, but fast as hell, can cover, adequately. But him and the other kid from Minnesota, Vince Wright's homeboy, Devondre Campbell, they're just flying all over the place, man, and they're rookies. So I'm trying to, project them 3, 4, 5 years down the road, man. I mean, I like what they're doing with the defense, man, with the young players. With the linebackers in particular, man, I think that Dan Quinn and the Falcons have hit a home run with these linebackers. Vic Beasley needs a little bit of work. Vic Beasley, who they drafted as their first-round draft pick 2 years ago, man, he needs a little bit of work. Or was it 2 years ago or was last year's rookie year? I believe it was 2 years ago. They didn't draft him last year. But he needs a little bit of work, man. We need that cat to get to the quarterback, but he's young as well. And then he's got this great tutoring that's being applied by Dwight Freeney, who Dwight Freeney's been playing good as hell. He was held out of practice, from what I understand, yesterday. Probably just a type of thing because he's old as Methuselah. They let him miss practice. I don't think that he's injured or anything like that. But Dwight Freeney, man, he has, 3 sacks already? Maybe even 4 sacks already? He's been doing what he was brought in here to do. He's a hired gun to get to the quarterback. Vic Beasley, not so much. But hopefully, Dwight Freeney can rub off on that cat and he can get better and get to the quarterback a little bit more. But I like the, they're giving up a lot of points still in relative terms. But I like the aggressiveness of those two young linebackers that they drafted, man. I can see them being real good 5-10 years down the road. Yes, sir. All right. Let me read a couple of your messages in the chat room on Spreaker.com. What do we got from Grego? X Squad. He says A.J. Hawk probably hates every strand Clay Matthews hair. So I guess Clay Matthews Jr. kind of took over that role A.J. Hawk had for many years at Green Bay, being that linebacker. From Rel the intern Scott, Debo met Cam. Cam meet Debo. Pow. Yeah, so Debo, Deion Jones was the kid that hit Cam this past week, and when Cam kind of lollygagged into the damn end zone. Bust him in the chops. From Kaza, he says, now teams will score 40 instead of 30. Was that a shot at A.J. Hawk, bruh? From Mr. Harper, phone is working just fine now. From Thorny Switch, Falcons really couldn't have give Brian Banks a chance. So Brian Banks is the young man that was accused of rape, and I think they brought him in here for a workout, or maybe he even was on the squad at the start of the season. They cut him after the first cut. From the 47 problem, Spoon is out for the season. Maybe that's a wrap for him. Spoon, yeah. Sean Witherspoon done for the year. Achilles, and he's just been nicked up his entire career, man. Really feel bad for him. Seems like a great guy, but just, that injury bug, man. Some people just are injury prone. I mean, hell, I was injury prone. I had knee issues starting my junior year in high school, My brother had knee issues. Some people just, aren't built as sturdy as other people. Some people play their entire career, and you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show. We brought to you by footballsportsapp.com. Some people play their entire career and never get hurt. The best example I always throw out there, man, is Barry Sanders. Barry Sanders is a little dude. When I'm telling you he's 5'8", but Barry Sanders is built like a freaking fire plug, though. Like, his calves are like the size of most people's neck. Darren Sproles, another little cat, little in stature, man, but they thick and they don't get hurt. They don't get hurt. And some people, every time you turn around, they're injured. That's just the way it is, man. From Kaza, the Gov said this storm will kill you. From KC, Miami versus FSU. Oh, he's talking about the storm in South Carolina. From KC, says Miami versus FSU still on in Miami. Way too much money on the line. ESPN has already sent their crew to set up. I don't think the storm is going to be that big of a threat to the state of Florida as it is to, a little bit further up the coast. I'm not exactly sure about that, though. More of your chat from Tiffany Sports and Heels. Hey, Tiffany Sports and Heels. She says, Denise, they making deposits or they get nothing. Laugh out loud. I don't know what they're talking about. From Denise Milk and Cookies. Hey, Denise Milk and Cookies. She says, damn, Tiffany, they're still making requests. Bunch of avatar smiley faces. From Tiffany Sports and Heels, yes, I own some leather camel thigh high boots. Yes, sir. Okay. Do y'all. Do your damn thing in the chat room, Stewies. You know what? I mean, if as a side benefit, the chat room makes some love connections, hey, just invite me to the wedding. Yeah, speaking of which, all day stew on the Stewart Media and Entertainment Network today. From 12 p.m. Eastern Time till about 7 p.m. Eastern Time, I think it's set for. The chat room will be open. Jump in there, create you an account if you never did before. Today is the perfect opportunity to do that. All right, back in 3 minutes. The Doug Stewart Show. What is ID Life? Well, over the last 18 years, a group of scientists and doctors have been working on the development of a one-of-a-kind nutritional supplement program that takes all the guesswork out of what you need and delivers your truly personalized pharmaceutical-grade nutrition with your name on it directly to your door. Through the integration of thousands of medical and scientific studies, answers you provide to the free assessment, and more than 5,470 algorithms that process the data, ID Nutrition recommends what you need, leaves out what you don't, and blocks things known to the system to have possible adverse effects based on the answers you provide. The result is a program that is revolutionizing the health and wellness industry. Welcome to ID Life. For more information, just go to thedugstewartshow.idlife.com. That's thedugstewartshow.idlife.com. Do you have your own radio show? Are you an